All right, here we go. I really don't know what this is going to be. I don't even know if anybody's even going to show up. Uh, we'll see. Um, I have been live viewers comments show up on. All right, it says that my comments are set, so I don't know if I can see anybody's comments or not. We'll see. Um, it's a new year. 2020's here. Uh, it's a new me. No, it's not. I am who I am. Hey guys, how are you? That's where I see it. All right, now I'm getting the hang of this. This is different when I run it than uh, when my buddy's running it. Can you see this? Yeah, I can see it, Suzy Suzy. I see it. Listen, guys, I'm over 50, and I've been dealing with this for about a year now. It is a tough thing for me. Um, and I had a friend call this weekend and was discussing it with me. We've been hustling. Um, we don't want a new you. You're not going to get a new me. Listen, it's this is tough for me. I'm over 50. I spent this is my 13th year in business. I built a very large company, and I got really nothing to show for it. Um, I don't have a big retirement account. I don't have a $1 million in the bank. I don't have much of anything. And at 53, I'm 53. I'll be 54 next month. I'm looking at things going, man, what am I going to do? Uh, you got two options. You can have a lot of money in the bank and it allows you to retire, or you can have steady income streams that don't require you to work as much. And that's what I'm working on. That's really where this last year of my life has been headed, is towards creating. I don't think I'll ever have a lot of money in the bank. I don't see where a friend of mine owned Free Up. He sold Free Up and got this big check, big fat check. He deposited in the bank, and he's basically set for life. So he doesn't really have to work. Uh, then there's me. I've hustled from. I started out behind the eight ball. We borrowed money to start this. We've been in debt the entire time I've had the company. So I've worked for everybody else, and Lori and I never really put away. So I want to do something about that for sellers. Amazon's not going to be here forever, guys. Each year it gets a little harder. They squeeze us a little more. It makes it a little more complicated, even for somebody of my size. Um, it's really it's hard to say Amazon's going to be here in 10 years and that's how I'm making a living. Nomad Lifestyle, I see your comment. I will get to that. He's asking me about my chair. It's actually a pretty nice chair. Um, it's actually a pretty nice chair. I do like it. I did see a place where they have um, a Certipedic office chair for executives, and I sat in that sucker, and I'll tell you, that's a one nice chair. It was $700. I don't know. I can bring myself to spend $700. Suzy Suzy, I did this. She says I cut back on monthly spending. Lori and I would eat out and do things, and we were crazy, guys. I'm telling you, we lived high on the hog for a long time. That's the first thing I did was in the last probably 18 months I have paid off almost all of our personal debt. Um, that was tough. That was a hard thing to do. I mean, we really had to buckle down to get that everything paid off. The only thing I owe money on is the RV. And under Dave Ramsey's plan, he says this isn't a house. This is where I live. This is where I plan on living. It's my house. Um, and my Harley, and the reason I haven't paid the Harley off is the interest on the bike is 2.9. I don't fully agree with Dave and leverage and loans. Lori and I do just fine. We're able to afford that motorcycle, and we've been stashing money away monthly, and we've cut all our expenses. We allow ourselves to go out once a week for dinner now, where we were eating out. Any of you that know us, Lori and I ate out 20 times a week. You know, there's 21 meals in a week, morning, lunch, and dinner. We ate out 15 to 20 times on any given week. Got to be very expensive. Internet shopping says Amazon may be here, but whether we're here as sellers is really up for debate and gets less and less likely every year. I fully agree that for the smaller sellers, it's getting tougher and tougher. Now, I do have a brand and I do have some advantages, and there are things that I'm doing. It was hinted at this morning about the drop shippers that I've really been studying the drop shippers and the Shopify model and Facebook ads. And that's all because of this, guys. This is all about me being broke. You know, my business is solid. My business has value. My business gives me a net worth. Does it have debt? Yes. And that is under the debt for the business will be paid in full in October. I make the last payment on the debt for the business. You know, I've done everything. Suzy Suzy says, sounds like you're on the right track. I really am. I feel like I am, but I also feel like there's a lot. It is a lot better than what it was. I'm not there. I don't feel secure. But I also want to put it out there for other people to think about. I don't want my friends. I don't want my friends to end up like me. Is it better for RV living? Oh, he's asked me if I'm in Arizona. No, I'm actually in Texas. Yeah, I guess I haven't been here in a while. I haven't caught you up. My wife's birthday is November 30th, and we were in Laughlin, Arizona, Laughlin, Nevada, which is on the border of Arizona. The Colorado River is the only thing between me and Arizona when we were in Laughlin. Her birthday's the 30th, and our baby daughter called us and said, don't panic. We are at the hospital. I'm 3 centimeters dilated, but they said I'm going home. Nothing to worry about. I just wanted to let you know. She wasn't due until December 16th. Well, my wife hung up and told me, and I said, honey, start packing up. She's having that baby today. I just felt it in my gut that she was going to have the baby on my wife's birthday. We started packing up, ran into a problem with the motorcycle being loaded onto the RV. Had to get a flatbed in to help me. And during that time, our daughter called and said, I'm not going home. I am now 8 centimeters dilated, and the baby will be here sometime today. So we packed everything up, drove through the mountains and 2 feet of snow. Yes, the roads were plowed, but it was white knuckling going through there because we watched the gauge and the temperature just kept dropping and dropping and dropping and down to 18 degrees. And there were some wet spots on the road. I was worried about it freezing and stuff. Once I was east of Flagstaff, I felt comfortable because I knew that I was far enough east and out of the mountains that there was no real snow. And we got here, and I have a beautiful, beautiful granddaughter that I get to see almost every day. I've My daughter has come to work for me. Yeah, better than I deserve. Yeah, that's it. That's the. I I like Dave, but I believe Dave's for a younger generation. Um, in my last video, uh, I talked about it. Dave left me feeling broke when I followed his plan at my age. I wish I would have saved some money along the way so that I felt more secure if something happened. Um, Suzy Suzy says, "Don't beat yourself up, John. You're making smart choices now. We all do better when we know better." Yeah, and that's part of why I'm doing this. I was not coming on to. I'll be honest. I was actually going to sell out all my equipment that I use for YouTube, um, but I decided to keep it because I'm not sure where this is going to lead, guys. This is a one time thing. Um, I'd like to talk more about how I set myself up to have an income longer term than me actually doing the work all the time. Um, I don't know how that'll work. I want to talk about things like drop shipping because that's what I do. That's what I know. I don't want to talk about how to go do RA. I don't do RA. I'm old. Uh, I'm old for the RA. I'm 53. I don't want to do RA. That's that's calling a spade a spade. I don't want to do RA. I don't want to do OA. I've never done OA. I don't want to play with Dollar Tree. I don't want to play with Walgreens anymore. I don't want to go to Walmart. I don't want to do none of that. I want to talk about reality of actually building some kind of income streams that can be maintained over a cup of coffee. And for you guys that read my morning blog and have been reading it for a while, um, it's um, that can become the modern form of slavery. I fully agree with that, dollar bills. I fully agree with that. This isn't. This going to be different. Mr. Sadie says this is exactly where I'm at, Mr. Sadie. You and me are so much. Whoops, sorry. Um, Mr. Sadie and I are so much alike. I'm 53. I don't need much. I really don't, guys. Listen, I haven't bought a shirt or I haven't bought a pair of drawers in 2 years. I actually went through and seen some that are pretty thin in material. I got rid of and said, "Okay, baby, I need to pick up a pack of drawers." Um, he says, "I'm 53 and don't need much, but I do worry I won't be able to help the ones close to me like I currently do." That is absolutely where I'm at. That's what started all this. Um, Listen, I can go sleep under the bridge, me and my bike, and I'm gone, and I'll live just fine the rest of my life. My wife, on the other hand, she can't do that. Um, I think her name is Myra. Says, so you're going straight wholesale? I do. I've done straight wholesale pretty much since day one. Um, Bearded Picker is having a hard time doing RA. Hard to pay your bills. I don't know. I'm not really sure about all that. Um, I do talk to him on the show. I do talk to him before. We really haven't talked since I got to Texas. My granddaughter has been my focus. It really has. The holidays. Um, One of my stepfather's friends lost his wife, so I've been dealing with that a little bit. That was hard for me. They were married 64 years. Um, it was hard for me to watch that happen. I don't know what this is, guys. I really and honestly don't know. I didn't get a chance to talk about it on Scott's show this morning, but I feel like Somebody needs to be the mouthpiece out there talking about this. We talk about hitting home runs in RA. We talk about making money selling, flipping $2 into $50. But is that what you want to be doing when you're 60 years old? No, I do not like Texas at all. I absolutely hate it here. Um, it is very cold overnight. If you notice, you see me rubbing my hands a lot. It's damp here. It's cold. My arthritis is killing me, but my granddaughter's here. My youngest, newest granddaughter is here, so there's no other place that I would want to be. I'll suffer through the pain a little bit. I bought an electric heater. I have a um, electric fireplace. This stays pretty warm. When it drops really, really cold, I can fire up the furnace, but it runs on diesel. And since we know we're here for 3 months, I'm trying to be very conservative with the diesel. What state is best to RV in? No, Matt, that's a tough question to answer. It depends on what you're looking for in a lifestyle. For us, Laughlin, Nevada is looking really good as our where we're going to set up camp for a long term. We're actually going to go in March and look at it for 6 months. This is funding retirement and goal be financially independent. See, Eric's smart. Hell no, this is funding retirement and goal be financially independent by 50. See, here's a young person, and Eric, I don't know how old you are. I'm going to guess 40-ish, who has a 10-year plan of being financially independent. All I ever said in life was that I was going to be rich. That I wanted to be rich. And to be rich, I said I had to build a $1 million business. So I built $1 million business, and I'm not rich. But that's okay. Listen, guys, I'm okay. I don't want. This is not like a plea for help. This isn't. My business is going. I did this once before, and I got a lot of backlash on it. My business is doing fine. Yes, I do have hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt against my company, but it is financially capable of paying that debt off. In fact, it's all laid out and planned. It's been reviewed by my accountant, the partners in his accounting firm, and it has been reviewed by bankers. And they said this is an excellent plan for paying off this debt in the time frame that I want to pay it off. So what I did was right. My company can afford its employees. We're not in jeopardy of closing tomorrow. I have 6 figures in the bank in the business checking account. That's not bragging. That's working capital that I have available to buy new inventory, to buy and sell, to do what I do with my company. So this is more about how do we go from here? How do you get from being 53 or 40 like Eric? How do you plan for retirement? It's not something I was ever taught. I grew up in a dirt trailer park. We had dirt roads in the trailer park. Back then, they were shacks that were falling down, and people live in them now. It was the slums of the ghetto. I mean, the people in the slums called me poor. You know, that's how bad I grew up. So money was never discussed. We just made it by. We got by. Mr. Sadie, you and I really need to like chat because we are so much alike. I don't worry so much about getting by. You and I have enough life experience to do that. But I agree, at our age, it's now or never to set up for our future. I don't want to have to grind my life away. Um, See, here, this is what I don't want. Watch him work with my dad. All he does is work at 66, and I don't want that. Want to enjoy and live life. This is this is why I'm doing this. Now, what's it mean? I have no idea, guys. I don't know anything. All right. What I do know is I have 4 manufacturers that work with me. I know that I can develop an income that I don't have to be a part of. Beyond that, I really don't have anything to offer. You know, I actually came here looking for suggestions, maybe. Let's just say private label wholesale brands names, Tampa, Florida. Love the channel. Thanks, Chris. Um, Susie, but is that all it really is? You just save? If that's all it is, then I'm fine. I could save. Um, you have to get multiple streams of income. I feel like I have multiple streams of income that a lot of people don't fully understand. I I sell on Amazon FBA. I sell drop shipped products. I sell new product on eBay. I am currently working on my own website. I have somebody designing a website for me. I have multiple streams of income. I feel like what I've done over the last 18 months has really helped me. But I guess what I'm asking is, has everybody else started doing these things? Uh, Eric, I know Eric. Eric was in our private group for the fourth quarter. Um, he's a very smart person when it comes to this kind of stuff. He's really focused on it, and part of it is, I think, for Eric and Eric, you can chime in on this. Is that he's watching his dad at 66 go, you know, I got to go to work because I got to eat tonight, and he don't want that. Eric doesn't want that for himself. Um, I grew up not knowing what I was going to eat tomorrow. My mother really didn't know. My mother gave me my faith in God because many nights we went to bed going, okay, we don't know what we're eating for dinner tomorrow night, um, but we're going to trust God to have something. And uh, so now it's not so much I'm worried about what I'm going to eat. It's what about 10 years from now? I watched my dad work to the day he died. And I said, I'm not going to do that. And guess what? I'm 53 and I'm doing that. Uh, Nomad Lifestyles. Are you Nick? Just put two and two together on that. I think that's a friend of mine from another group. It's a tough thing. I have thought, and he says, Nomad said, John, make a course on Udemy for another income. I've thought about making a course. I don't know that I want to. We don't know. I don't. It's a little bit tough. Myra says, "What about your expenses? What is your health insurance situation? Reducing outgoing funds might help. Sometimes you can." Um, my expenses are relatively low now. There is a big listen. I live in a very nice RV. There is a big, big me. There's a big mortgage payment on this. I'm not going to lie about that. My health insurance, I am a disabled veteran, so although we use my wife's health insurance, I do have health insurance. My wife was a school teacher for 25 years in the New Jersey education system, so we have health insurance. Uh, that kind of stuff is tough. Cutting down on my expenses, we stopped eating out. Um, we started saving more. We paid off all our debt. Um, and guys, don't think that if something happened, I would struggle financially because I wouldn't. We have, and I showed it before, I have a stack of credit cards in the desk, and this is just a handful of them. Okay. That's all. There's no debt on any of those cards. All those cards are free and clear now. Um, so there's no income. Can I do this the rest of my life? Yeah, I probably could work the rest of my life. As you could tell, I'm a big guy, man. I need to get healthy. That's one thing. Nomad's Lifestyle says bearded picker is starting to have a hard time doing the picking at his age. Listen, it gets to be a lot of work. He's my age. Scott and I are about the same age. Um, we don't have the youth that we had, and I make good money and I spent it. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to hide it. I did. I spent the money. Uh, and I should have been saving, like Susie said. Um, this is true. Suzy Suzy says, I think a lot of people who open a business confuse their total sales with their net worth. It's a hard lesson. Um, yes, um, the there's things that can be done. Pension, SSD, 3K, passive, FBA income, credit cards. Pension, SSD, 3,000, passive FBA income, credit cards, live decent in Florida. Yeah, I know you can. That's really not the point of this. Or Nomad Lifestyle says I cannot do RA anymore. Too much of a grind. I think it's. I'm not going to beat up anything. Now, RA has its purpose. I mean, if you get out there and you really hustle RA, you can find some good products that you can work your way into wholesale or private label, or because of the history, you get to know the product, you get to understand it, you're able to um, you be able to develop it long term. Now, you know, to do RA for a living, I understand. I did not start with RA, guys. The first product I sold was flags. If for those that don't know, I sold flags when I first started. I sell the same flags now that what I started. Um, it, I bought them wholesale and I sold them. Sold them on eBay for years. I still sell them on eBay. So RA was a new thing to me. I didn't even know what RA was. Um, the thing is if you are young like Eric, I'm not picking on you. I'm I know you, and I'm able to relate. You know, Eric's in the perfect position. 40, you're making good money with RA. Uh, Stash it, put it away. That's the point of this whole thing is start saving, man. If you got that, pay it the frick off and don't owe nobody. I do agree with Dave Ramsey on that. I don't fully agree with how he says to pay it off, but that's okay too, as long as you get it paid off. The debt's paid off. Um, I don't. Um, So we don't have a spending problem. We have an income problem. We first need to find a freedom number. What I need passively every month, each person has to decide. I agree with that. Um, Ours is relatively low as long as we're not traveling a lot. This is a big rig, guys. This. We live in a 43-foot um, bus. It's think of a Greyhound City bus. It's as big as this Greyhound City bus. It's got the two sets of wheels in the back like a bus. Um, it's a 450 turbo Cummins turbo diesel in this thing. Um, the fuel it up runs me about $350. So as long as I'm not traveling, our expenses are relatively low. Um, right now we're in a park, and our rent is we just paid it was 535, including electricity, water, sewage, and trash removal. There's no maintenance on the property. There is maintenance on the RV. I do most of it myself. The one thing I've done is I started doing more things myself than hiring people to do it. For a long time, I was like, I'll do it. I'll let somebody else do it. Uh, Chris, maybe one day I'll take and do it on my camera so you can all see it. Um, do you have a membership to help pay for parking? Yes, I actually, no matter I use, we have Thousand Trails that we use a lot, and we can stay for 3 weeks free and then go to another park and stay for 3 weeks free. In fact, we're talking about doing it for 6 months, going from park to park to see what it's like. But guys, we got to talk. Realistically, I want people to start thinking about. Dollar Bill says after your business is out of debt, your options will open up, and you will see. I see a lot already. Um, and the end of his statement was things more clearly. Yeah, I agree. Listen, that that's not affecting my income. Uh, I am a full blown corporation, so I must take a paycheck. I draw a paycheck just like any other employee that goes to work. I go to work and I get a check. Every Friday, I get a paycheck. That's the end of it. There's no owner draw. There's no, well, if we profit this much, I take this much of the profit. I draw a paycheck. Um, uh, the debt is going to get paid off, but you also have to understand at this level, if you don't leverage, it's very tough. It's very tough to be at this level and not have money borrowed. Um, and I had to make a lot of changes in the company to run a more positive cash flow business. And that's something a lot of people don't talk about is the cash flow it takes to keep these things going. Right now, currently, I have about, without looking into the computer, I got about $260,000 worth of inventory bought and paid for. Not, a credit card here and a credit card there. Actual cash in hand to the company. They have their money and I have the inventory. It makes it tough to do that. But, and Mr. Sadie will be, I don't know if he's still here. Mr. Sadie will be able to understand this, and maybe some of you can too. My brother has an income for his household, and he was struggling. His daughter has health insurance that my company pays for. My granddaughter has health insurance, which she wouldn't have if my daughter didn't come to work for me. My mother is able to travel all over and see her grandchildren and her children and her great grandchildren because of my business. Lori and I are able to sit here in Texas and see our grandchild and our daughter because of this business. My business provides a lot of things for a lot of people. So the debt repayment is going to happen, and it's something that I probably will talk about. But I'd like to hear what you guys want to hear from me about it. I mean, I'm trying to be open and honest here, guys. I'm trying to tell you the truth. I'm trying not to hide anything. Now, don't ask me what I sell. I can't tell you what I sell. I can't tell you who my vendors are. I'm not going to give away, my business to try and help you. I can try and help you, tell you how I got to where I am. I can help you with things like that. But I want to have this as a financial discussion more than how did you build your Amazon? What are you doing about the debt? How are you paying off the debt? How did you streamline the business? How did you streamline the inventory? For those of you to follow me where I write on a daily basis on Facebook, in the No BS e-commerce group, I've been selling off my inventory so that loan gets paid off. I'm actually bringing my inventory level down. I'm looking to be at about $100,000 worth of inventory, which should allow me to maintain the sales that I have now going forwards based on deals that I have put together to acquire inventory without having to buy entire container loads of one item, which is a huge help, guys. So what kind of ideas would you like to see from this? I want to get away from the selling part of it. I want to get away from, well, if you go to Walmart today and you go to the clearance aisle, you can buy these coffee cups for $1 and they sell on Amazon for $20. Go buy them. I'd rather talk about the money aspect of it, the business side of it. How do you increase your sales? Suzy says, focus on how to increase sales. Are there other platforms? Can you go sell flags at flea markets? There's no way in hell that you're going to catch me selling door to door again. I did it one time, Suzy. Yeah, I will close. I closed out 2019 at close to $3 million in sales, guys. I'm okay. Don't think that I'm hurting. See, this is the kind of questions I like. You still planning to move to other non-Amazon platforms? Tanya, I'm actually having a website that's in development right now so that I can do drop shipping off of Amazon using Facebook ads. Sounds like you are better off than most. Have you seen an estate planner or made plans to transition the business to your daughter? I'm not sure that it's going to be my daughter's. That's where I'm at. I did speak to a lawyer about planning my estate and trust, and I understand how a trust works. Those kind of things. I have started doing that. I actually started filling out my estate so that when I sit down, he sent me a whole package of stuff, of information he's asking for so that we can sit down and do it. That's the thing. Your business provides for a lot of family. If not, sell it and live off the investment income. I know it's not that simple. A lot goes into it. You're absolutely right, Eric. I have a lot of family that makes their income from the business. I was offered several $1,000,000 July, August of last year. I'm not sure of exactly when it was, to sell the business, and I didn't sell because too many of my family would have been in jeopardy with their income if they, sure, they could say, oh yeah, we'll keep them, and then as soon as all the papers are signed, they could let my family go. and that was too much of a risk for me. Um, I have no interest in selling the business. I would like to see the business continue after I'm out of it. I'd like to pass it off to my daughter. I'd like to pass it off to my brother. I'd like to see them split it maybe so that his children can take over and my grandchildren can take over and nephews and nieces. I would like to see it stay a family business. Um, my suppliers have expressed an interest in buying my technology of how I am able to process all the orders and how I'm able to put everything together of their product. They don't want the whole company. They want their section that I deal with. Um, I am, you have to understand, I'm going to go back to this for a minute. It sounds like you're a lot better off than most. I wasn't, Myra. That's why I'm here. I wasn't better off. I was living paycheck to paycheck like a lot of people, and my paychecks were big. Um, I just, as I made more, I spent more. I, I don't know how else to describe it. Dave talks about it all the time. You get a job making 20,000, you spend this much. When you get a job paying 25,000, you spend this. You go to 30, you spend that. And the RVs got bigger, the houses got bigger, the cars got fancier. You know, we had 3 Infinities parked in our driveway at one time. What the hell 2 of us needed 3 cars for, I still don't know. Um, I'm in good shape financially today. But what kind of stuff would you guys like to see in the future? I don't want to talk about selling. I really don't. I don't want to talk about, well, if you go and build this listing, this will happen. I'd rather talk about the business side of it, the bigger picture, the longer term stuff. You know, how do we plan? How do we put together something that 10 years from now we're not working every day of our lives, that we're enjoying life? Like Eric said earlier, um, I want to be financially independent so that I can enjoy life. Understand, I can enjoy life now, guys. I get up and I'm done work. I can be done work by 9 o'clock. Um, so I'm really not working 8 hours a day anymore. Uh, what kind of financial struggles are you having? Do you have financial struggles? You know, I know some people that use credit cards exclusively. Suzy Suzy, I don't think, I'm going to guess by this that you don't follow me. Keeping the business in the family, you have just set your goal. Now develop steps on achieving that goal. Share with all of us that the journey. I will share. I've been writing for years about my business. Every step of the way has been so that I don't work. And I've never planned on selling it. So it was always to be left to the family. In 2020, I will not, I will be quote unquote retired. I won't have to um, manage the business. I right now I can't tell you how much money's in the business checking account because I have a financial department that handles that. I can pick up the phone and know in a minute down to the penny what's there. Um, I don't I cannot tell you what products are being processed or have been processed or will be shipping to Amazon. That is handled by my brother and the entire warehouse team and the inventory people that manage all of that. I do not do any of that. Please teach us how to build a pallet for FBA. Thank you. I can't do it. Sorry. I don't know how to build a pallet. Um, that's a, I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're asking. My brother would have to do the video, and I think that can be something that we can do. I'll talk to my brother about maybe recording a video. Um, of how we build our pallets. But I've been rambling for 45 minutes, guys. I really want to talk about the business side of this thing we call FBA, e-commerce, eBay, whatever it is. The stuff that's not talked about on a day-to-day basis, the cash flow, the um, the cash flow part of it, the building this, the SOPs, the step by step how you do pay per click, to do the teach people how to manage widgets step by step. Yeah, you know, pay per click. Listen, you have to decide for yourself how you want your business to run. Um, for example, pay per click. My everything I do within my business is KISS. KISS is the battle cry of my company. Keep it simple, stupid. KISS. Every single thing we do um, is KISS. Pay per click. I start pay per click on every single item we sell. This is my step by step, Joe. Get a pen and write it down. Every single item I have gets an automatic campaign. How did I learn about automatic campaigns? Inside Seller Central at Seller University, it told me all about their campaigns and how to operate their pay per click. From there, I found all the native keywords that were not making me money in pay per click. And I added negative keywords to every single product. That happens every Tuesday morning. While I'm sleeping, before I get up, it's done by 4 o'clock in the morning. It's done by a gentleman in the Philippines named Alejandro. Then I adjusted the bid either up or down based on ACOS. ACOS stands for average cost of sale. It's one of the numbers in the file that the report you can download about pay per click. If my ACOS, average cost of sale, was above 20%, I lowered the bid. If it was below 10%, I raised the bid. My goal was to have my ACOS somewhere between 10 and 15% is where I really wanted to be. Right now, I'm running an ACOS of 16% by doing that. And on that 16% ACOS, I spend approximately $18,000 a month on pay per click, and it generates over $100,000 a month in sales for me. That's it. That's my entire pay per click strategy. There is nothing extravagant or fancy about what I do. That is the entire strategy. There's no hidden tricks. There's no, well, I take the keywords that are making money and I then put them into a manual campaign and I adjust the bid and I do it. No, there's none of that. That's too complicated for my dumb ass. Okay? I start an automatic campaign. I add negative keywords and I adjust the bid to make the ACOS reach the point that I need it to be. Myra says, have you ever considered manufacturing your own product? No, 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 no. I work with several American manufacturers. I sell their products for them because they do not retail to an end consumer. I am the middleman for them. If I have an idea for a product, I sit down with the owners of every one of the companies I deal with once a year for some, and some are twice a year. I sit down with the owners and we discuss any ideas that I have for new products. And a lot of times they say, well, we've thought about that, or we've tried something similar to that, and here's the problem that we had. Or, for example, I have a company right now coming out with a new line of product. That was my idea, and they said, we really think that'll take off, so we're going to sell it. I've never wanted to be a manufacturer. I'm a salesman. I'm an old fat biker that likes to sit on his Harley and ride. Uh, God gave me a gift of gab. As you can tell, I've been here almost an hour by myself talking, and I'm a really good salesman. I believe in what I sell. I don't sell you crap. If I won't use it, I won't sell it. So that's where I'm at. Suzy Suzy, you take for granted the information that is in your head. Be the inspiration and share the information of how to start a business and thrive. Um, People are starving for this information. Um, I agree. The problem is when I start to do that. Um, First, remember I started 12 years ago, so all the rules have changed. Um, Hell, I opened up a new eBay account and they limited me to 10 sales. Um, 10 sales are $1,000. When I opened up my original eBay account, there was no limitations. When I started on Amazon, there was no this limitations, gating. You got to be approved. I can try, Suzy Suzy, to give you information. I'm actually much better about the business part of it. The SOPs, how do I build my SOPs? How do I build my operating manual? How do I teach a VA to run my business for me while I'm sleeping or answer consumer emails? Customer service. I haven't spoken to a customer about anything in a year or more, about anything at all. I have a VA in the Philippines that answers every single email. If he can't answer the email, he asks somebody else. If nobody can answer it, then he then comes to me. All this takes place within 24 hours. Um, Except for on weekends, he's instructed that he puts in a note in the email, an email that I'll be back in the office on Monday and they will have an answer. And he always makes sure that he gets an answer from me. There's a lot of stuff like that I can help with. How to go into Walmart and buy product now, I suck at it, Suzy. I couldn't help anybody. Honestly, I couldn't help anybody. If you can't sell on Amazon already, I would struggle to help you. The information that I have just doesn't work. I'm not out there doing it. I can't tell you. Uh, I could tell you how to have a relationship with a company that does $500 million a year in gross sales. That I can tell you. I can tell you how to sit down and tell them, no, I can't do that. You got to do this. I could help you with that kind of stuff, but to teach you how to buy product, I wouldn't know how. Um, I can't go into a thrift store and pick like I used to. I just can't do it. It's not me. I have a different role now. I can tell you about running a multi-million-dollar company. I could tell you what it took to get here. You know, I could tell you about the struggles with having a $500,000 in credit, outstanding loans in this business. Um, your work ethic. I like this. I appreciate it. I appreciate that. Me too, John. Sold my business 20 years ago, but I don't do YouTube videos. You do. Teach people the basics. Your work ethic is superior. I'm up 365 days a year. I'm in front of this computer with a cup of coffee no later than 5 a.m. I don't care where I am in the world, no later than 5 a.m. Cup of coffee and me and a computer are online going over my reports. I don't work, guys. I don't work like most of you work. Most of you have to build your own listings. Alejandro is teaching my daughter, and they're going to build 3 new listings on eBay today. I will have nothing to do with it. I don't set the price. I don't, nothing. I absolutely have nothing to do with it. I tell them, okay, this company's coming out with this new product. I need you to build me a variation listing. I need you to, here's the images, and here's my cost. And that's the end of it. What I do for work is I plan out those things. I plan out how I can tell them to do that, and they actually have a checklist that they have to check off. Okay, we need to modify the images. Check. We need to build a description, but we're not really sure. So who do we talk to? If you're not sure, contact, excuse me, so-and-so. It's right in the checklist. These are the things that I can show you how to do. What to buy, I can tell you, as Eric will testify if he's still in here, I could still tell you what's very profitable for Christmas from certain stores. I've done it long enough. I know what the products are. Some of them were showing shopping carts full of this product in Q4, and I knew it would be profitable, and some of them couldn't buy it fast enough. But to do it on, to give you a BOLO every week, never could do it. Even when I did retail arbitrage, I had a shopping list of 15 items, and that's what I bought. Eric says true, because he knows. Yeah, I knew the product. I was very clear on what to expect from my group, and they got exactly what I told them they would get. And, some of them we had when we were kids, and I said it, and people kind of laughed about it. I know some people laughed about it, and then they went to Walmart on the bottom shelf and pulled it off the shelf and went, oh, crap. How much can I get? So those kind of things I can teach you. The business side of it, the buying and selling part of it, I'm so far out of it, guys. I can't tell you. I could teach you how to build a listing because I have a checklist. I did a variation. I built a variation listing in the Q4 group. I had a checklist, and I had to follow the checklist. It's not that I could do it. Obtaining, marketing, and selling widgets applies to most everything. Teach the basics. All right, Suzy, I'll try it. I mean, listen, I'll try anything. But understand that I am over 50 and broke, guys. And with that, I'm going to end. It's been an hour. I expected it to be 15 minutes, and here I am at an hour. I'm going to tell you the same way I always close. Get off your ass and go to work. God loves you. God bless. I don't know when I'll be back. I'm going to try and do this on a semi-regular basis, but I'm not going to commit to a time or a reason. I'm just not. I'm going to come on here. We're going to chat about something and go from there. Know that I'm dealing a lot with Facebook ads. I'm looking heavily at Facebook ads and Shopify stores for dropship products, not from AliExpress. Although I'm looking at what they do, I'm not going to dropship my product from AliExpress. I think it's profitable. I just don't think it's for me. I'm just looking to expand my avenues. Guys, God loves you, man. I'm telling you. Listen, faith, how Steve Harvey say, faith is believing in the unseen. I got faith that tomorrow, if God is willing, I'm going to get up. That's how I got here. My belief in God has gotten me through every problem that I've ever had. I may not have liked the outcome, but it has gotten me through it. And with that, God bless you, man. I'm out. Oops.